Building activity is at record levels. Let's have a look. Good evening everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to look at some recent data from the ABS about building activities. And well, we'll have to discuss whether we think the data is a good thing or something to be concerned, because well, building activity is at record levels, guys. We're all going nuts with our projects. It's going off left, right, and center. We're flat out, but there's a little problem. Just a little problem here, and I'm gonna have a shot of coffee before I switch over there. So let's bring this up. Now, this is the latest release from the ABS. Now, the reference period is in September 2022, but it's, well, this data's a day old. At least it was released the day old. So, it provides estimates of the value of building work and the number of dwellings commenced, completed, and, here's the one I'm going to underline in red, under construction. And also in the pipeline. Now, for those of you that aren't working in the construction sector or a business where you have to have a pipeline, you know, you've got your work that's finished, and maybe that's in the liquidated damages period, or well, no, that's your warranty period essentially, or your insurance period, that type of thing. So they're finished, they're done. You've got the marketing shots, it's all good. If something happens to come up, you know, the project is still active or the job's still active. It's just there. You've got to have insurance for so many years. Then you've got the jobs that have just commenced, just started, it's just rolling off. You've maybe got the dunny on the site and you're organizing that stuff and it just about almost hit the ground running. You've got the stuff that's underway, under construction, where you're right in the middle of the job. And right now we've got one job, a school job, and it's right in the middle of it and the boys are just kicking goals. Then you've got those that are in the pipeline. They're the ones in the future that you are, well, depending on or planning on. You've got to think, okay, you got 3 months work out, 6 months work, a year's work in the future. And you've got to plan for that. Some of them are maybe even signed contracts. Some of them may just be an idea or a discussion or just, a breadcrumb trail that you need to follow. Now, the concern is, if these guys here, the under construction lot, take too long, oh, look at that, we get a multicolored pen, then you might, the pipeline, you might have trouble servicing that. And we have seen a lot of builders go under with the construction apocalypse. So I suspect we're seeing, well, we've got record numbers of dwellings built because under construction's been dragged out. That's what I suspect we're seeing, guys, and we'll have a look. Let me know in the comments if you're in the construction game, are projects being dragged out. I know the weather is impacting my own build. Literally here, we had rain yesterday. That's the latest, putting the cages in the halls, and it's thrown us out by a couple of days again. And this is just a tiny job. So the seasonally adjusted terms. Dwellings commenced fell 5.2% to 45,489 dwellings. So okay, that's one to keep an eye on, because the argument I'll put forward to you, and we'll bring this up here, this is about the government coming to the rescue here, and the regulars will know this one. And this is where you can see here, guys, in the dwellings approved in the building type. See that sharp light blue spike there in the bottom chart? That is because of HomeBuilder. HomeBuilder brought projects forward. So the argument I'd make is, and that what I'm concerned we may be seeing, is that, we had this big spike up in projects, but then, it'll start dipping below the trend, because these guys here, well, they have to come from somewhere, so they kind of dug out of here and shifted back in time. That's the HomeBuilder effect. So the concern is we may see a drop down in at least the residential builds. Now, is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing? We'll have to see. And will it actually materialize? Will we notice it because so many builders have gone under? And we've got increased demand. It's all a mess, guys. So new private sector houses commenced fell 4.9% to 28,895. New private sector and other residential commencements fell 5.2% to 15,618. The value of building work rose 1.5% to $30.6 billion. So, if we have a look here, here we have, yep, dwellings down, down, down. So everything is down, but we're still looking, well, we still have a huge number of jobs under construction, guys. So new builds, new starts, that future pipeline, or even before, that pipeline that's been converted into projects, that's down across the board. So here's dwellings commenced. And we have a look at this. So this is 20, oh boy. So we'll probably run the trend line here, you'd say, roughly from 14 to 18. Yeah, up, down, but look at that. Look at that decrease, guys. Trend is right, heading down. Look at that spike. There you go. There's HomeBuilder. There's the HomeBuilder impact, because they were terrified. So private dwellings commenced seasonally adjusted. Here we have new other residential and new houses. So new other, like apartments and stuff, that's heading down overall. But you've got to understand, this came off a huge peak in 2016 back then. All the apartment boom that we had going. But there you go, guys. Look at that. Shom, boom, right down. Right down. And remember, this has taken a lot of builders with them. Well, this has taken a lot of builders with it. The surge up in projects, because the whole market overheated, and then you had labor issues, then you had supply issues. Everything went wrong at the same time. The total number of dwelling units commenced in Australia fell 5.2%. Yes, in the September quarter, in seasonally adjusted terms. The fall was driven by private sector other residential dwellings, which fell 5.2% to 15,618 dwellings, and follows a fall of 4.5% in the June quarter. Private sector house commencements fell 4.9% to 28,895 dwellings, and follows a fall of 1% in the June quarter. So here's the one I'm worried about, guys. The dwellings under construction. So this is the original. I'm assuming the original data, but boom! Look at that there. That's still going up. So new commencements we're seeing here is private dwellings commenced is crashing significantly, guys. Boom, boom, and there you go. But there's still so many of them under construction. So put two and two together. Projects are being dragged out. Projects are being dragged out. I was talking to a colleague on Twitter that I hadn't spoken to since high school, and he was it was interesting. His sister was having trouble getting labourers or any tradies on their house project, their house renovation. We're hearing it all the time. I think it's more to do in the residential sector. And there you go, guys. Look at that. It's way over 2014, way over 2016, 18. The total number of dwellings under construction has reached record highs since December 2021. Dwellings under construction reached a new record of 244,479 in September, an additional 0.6% increase from the record in June of 243,078 dwellings. Private sector new houses have increased to record highs since March 21, with 103,124 new private houses under construction in September 22. And here's the value of work done. Total value of work done. There we go, 30,000 million. New residential builds, 15. Okay, and what are we seeing here? Change from September quarter, 21 to 22. Down, down, down. Non-residential builds are up, and everything else is down, except for non-residential building. Non-residential building. I mean, residential is a sector that we don't really operate in. We do more commercial. Education at the moment is what we're doing. We did retail and mining. We do a little bit of residential, more so when someone we know approaches us, but not really. Because for most houses, you can get a building designer, they've done it like a million times, they'll copy and paste and modify, and they'll do it so cheap, I struggle to compete with it. I had a friend from uni who started an architectural practice, and her whole thing was residential, but she offshored all the work. All the drafting was done overseas. So, I mean, good on her, smart, but still. So, and here we go, the value of total builds, it's gone down. Value of work done, seasonally adjusted chain volume measures, new residential and non-residential. So, yeah, non-residential is ticking up a bit. And there we go, guys. So, let's have a bit of a chat about this. Wait a minute, that's not me. Boom, there we go. Well organized machine here. What can I say? The projects are dragging on, everyone. I'm sure weather has a part to play with this, material supply, labor issues, all of these things are coming to a head. Now the problem with this, the longer a project takes, the less money you make, the less profitable they are. Now if people are going in cheap, trying to win a job or competing for a job, or even if they're not going in cheap to win a job, you've got inflation eating away at the profit you've made there because of material costs going up. You've got labor being harder to get to. That's dragging out your project. That's costing more too. And now you've got the weather and other delays, and these projects are just not finishing. So you've got all these costs that are going on, and sure, some of them you can pass on to the client, but you want to maintain a good relationship too. So this is not a good sign. I think this is, because this is from September, this is showing us the construction apocalypse, guys. We've seen a lot of these builders that were in this situation back then have now fallen over, and we've probably talked about them in articles where they've gone down left, right, and center. The trading while insolvency, it just cratered the number of builders that were entering external administration, and now that's returning to normal. I don't know what to say. How can I put a good spin on this? I don't know if I can. I mean, here's the thing. If you're in the construction game, diversify the sectors you work in. And that, I know trust me, I know that's bloody hard and really difficult to do. For someone who got a whole lot of mining work and modular work, and then we trying to just crack into other sectors. You do someone a deal, you do a good job, and they want it cheap, and then they want it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That's why we don't do retail fit out anymore, guys. There's no money in it. Bloody hell. I'm trying to be encouraging. Go for retail and make no money. But I mean, I'm being half facetious, but sometimes that happens. Sometimes you'll have people that want to keep their team together and to keep their business going. They'll take projects to barely run at a cost or even at a slight loss just to keep it going with the hope that times are going to improve. Now, that's a sad part of reality. Sometimes you've got to make tough calls before you get to that point. But, I mean, this is the construction. How many builders have we seen that have gone under? And they're small family builders, they've chucked their own money, their own mortgage, everything to just try and get this stuff finished. And, yeah. Well, guys, this is what I think we're seeing here. We're seeing the construction apocalypse in the numbers. And the fact that new builds aren't kicking on, well, yeah. Anyway, let me know your thought and your take on this. How are your projects going? Are they getting done fast or nice and slow? Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out HeiseBroadband and Heise Does for other things I talk about. If you're a fan and want to support the channel, you can financially on YouTube or Patreon, using our referral links, buying our pocket squares, or calling us if you need an architect. You have to hurry. We're running out of limited edition pocket squares. We're never going to make any more again. We might make some new ones, but these are the original 10,000 subscriber specials. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Only going to be one video for tonight because I've had a busy Friday and I took the kids out on a date. So it's good fun. Cheap toy, play in the park, terrible junk food. They loved it.